Hey guys, it's Eric with Painting Business Pro, and in this video I want to talk to you about how to start and grow a painting business. See, starting a painting business is pretty easy. It's mostly about registering the business and getting your license and getting your insurance and all the things you got to do to set it up, and then getting your first job. That's starting a business. But once you get your first job and you pay your first house, you're not starting a business anymore. You're just in business. And once you're in business, you're marketing, winning projects, doing sales, and managing projects and growing from there. And so in this video, I want to talk more about growing the business after you have started it to accomplish the real goals you have of starting a business, which for almost everyone I ever talk to is freedom. Your freedom in your business includes financial freedom. That's what you're after, and that's what we want to talk about in this video, is how do you get there? So phase one is about building the foundation of your business. There's a few different things that you've got to get down in phase one. This is where you are doing most of the stuff in the business with the exception of doing the painting. All right, so you're getting good with business planning, meaning tracking and knowing all of your numbers in your business, forecasting, your budget, your sales plan, marketing plan, like actually having a plan and then tracking that plan throughout the year. Two, we got to get good at marketing. We need to develop the skill of marketing to bring customers in the door. We need to get good at estimating so that our prices are consistent every time and accurate and profitable. We need to get good at sales so we can win those potential customers into paying customers. And then we have to get good at project management, which includes hiring and training and working with your painters or your subcontractors to deliver a really quality experience to your customers. And then finally, we also have some administrative side of the business with understanding just taxes, managing customer information through a CRM, different software that you might be using, and things like that. And we want to be able to do all of these things efficiently. We don't want to be able to do all those things while working 80 hours a week, because then we're not efficient. And if we're not efficient in doing these things well, it's going to be really hard to train your team and future employees to do things well. And then if they end up being overworked, then you start having turnover and other problems when you start trying to build a team. So everything is built on this foundation. Now, if you're doing everything I just said and you're doing it well, you should be able to run about a $600,000 business per year. That makes about 30% profit, and that's total owner compensation. So you might pay yourself a little salary and a little distribution from your business, but 30%-ish total take home, and that's really healthy, and we see a lot of people do that. Really successful business in phase one, but in phase one, you still don't quite own a business, you just own a really high-paying job, because if you don't show up, you don't make money. You have to show up if you leave the country for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you're not really making money, or at least the business is taking a little bit of a hit. So then we get into phase two. Phase two is about building your team. All right, and typically that looks like hiring a project manager, someone who's going to be accountable for delivering on all the promises to clients. Once a customer signs with you, it's the project manager's job to work with that customer all the way until the project is done, customer's happy, review is gotten, we've asked for referrals, all that stuff. And then the next hire that we're always going to make is obviously a sales rep or an estimator, someone who's going to be going out and providing estimates to customers who are interested in getting a quote from you and maybe interested in painting with you. And then you're also probably hiring an office manager, someone who's going to be fielding a lot of calls and emails and playing coordinator and handling some of your administrative stuff as well. That's really the three key roles that you hire in your business, where now you are no longer a part of the day-to-day operating your company. Then from there, most of the people I work with, we end up hiring another project manager and another sales rep, and now you've got a team of 5. The nice thing about doing that is if you ever lose one, you're not on the hook to step in and have to run that. So you've got a little bit more of a strong foundation with your team. And at this stage of your business, you have the ability to work 10 to 20 hours a week. You have the ability to travel for a couple weeks at a time once those 5 people are trained and performing well. But then we get to phase 3. Phase 3 is I slow down and I got to stop and say, now what? What do I want to do now? Do I want to build this business even further? Do I want to go and launch another company? Do I want to just maintain this? Do I want to just invest in my team and try to make the company even stronger, but not necessarily focus on growth? Do I want to start to remove myself completely from the business and start to give future opportunities to other people on my team to run and even take over some ownership in the company to run the company? There's so many directions you can go from there. That's the time to stop and say, hey, I fulfilled the future goals I had when I started this business. It's time to create new goals. And it's worth taking some time to really reflect on that, because that's one of the most amazing places that you can be in business. And so that's what phase 3 is how am I going to use this launching pad to go and do whatever's next for me. So now let's transition and talk about how do you actually do all this. So that's kind of what I call the roadmap. That's the step-by-step plan for growing your business to fulfill the ambitions you have with your business. So how do you do it? Well, you do it just like you do anything. You got to get good at the skills of the game. So let's use golf as an example. So if you wanted to get really good at golf, how would you get really good at golf? Well, you have to get good at the different parts of golf. You got to get good at your drive. You got to get good at iron shots. You got to get good at your chips and your sand shots and your putts. All right, so we got to get good at all the shots in golf. Just like here, we've got to get good at marketing, estimating, sales, project management, hiring, training, managing people, and then like the business planning and some administrative stuff. Okay, so there's a handful of skills that we got to get good at, just like I got to get good at certain things in golf. So how do I get really good at something in golf? Well, you got to go to the range. You got to go and hit balls. You have to put the time in to practice the skill to get good at the skill. So that's the first most important thing. See, if you never go to the range, you're never going to get any better. If you're not putting time in to get better, you're never going to get better at these skills. And this is the first biggest mistake I see so many business owners make, is they're just not dedicating sufficient time to getting better. All they're doing is they're going out and playing golf. They're not hitting the range though. It's like, hey, just because you're running a business doesn't mean you're getting better at running the business. This is dedicated time that's dedicated just to learning and getting better. It's going to the range to just practice that shot over and over. All right, so that's the first thing, is you've got to put in time to mastering these skills. Okay, so now you're putting in, let's just assume, you're putting in the time necessary to develop the skills you need to develop. Okay, so what are you doing with that time? There's 3 approaches that you can take. The first approach is teach yourself, be self-taught. That would be like going out to the golf range with my set of clubs and just trying to figure out the perfect swing by myself, as if no one has ever invented golf before, like I'm the first one. I'm figuring out by myself in a vacuum with no help. Now that's obviously a horrible approach. However, quite a few people take that approach, but it's a horrible approach, and it's the slowest, longest way that you could possibly develop the skills that you need to develop. And most likely, if you just did that in golf, you would never get very good. All right, and we see the same in business. The second approach that you can take is you can leverage a lot of free resources. All right, so you could watch a YouTube video about how to improve your drive and say, okay, I got to try that with my swing, and then go out and practice that with your swing. And then you could watch another video and say, okay, I got to change my stance, and you change your stance a little and go out and practice your swing. And you could start watching all these videos and consuming and even reading books and all this stuff that's relatively cheap, and then trying to apply it on your own. That's another approach. And then the third path is you can hire a golf instructor. And so I did that once for my bachelor party. We were going on a big golf trip, and I'm like, I want to get better. Did a few lessons with my buddy, and I was struggling with this one shot in my game so bad for like a year, and it was so frustrating, and I couldn't seem to figure it out, and I couldn't seem to fix it. And literally I took 5 swings, and this, my golf instructor was watching me, and in 5 swings, he came over and he's like, hey, change this. And he's like, and it felt so weird. I took a swing, my golf shot straightened out, went perfectly straight, added 20 or 30 yards, and literally that year, from 3 lessons, 3 hours with the guy, my score dropped by 10. So the fastest path is to work with experts who can coach you directly, mentor you, and help you. So that's how you do it. I can tell you the roadmap, it's really nothing crazy. I gotta master these basic skills. Once I get those down, I can't grow my business without hiring help. Then I start hiring help, and now I gotta develop these skills about how to hire, train, and manage people and build a culture. There's our set skills. So there's like 10 skills that you gotta learn over 3 to 4 years. And the way to learn it is put in time. The best way to do that is with coaches and mentors. The second best would be resources that you can find on your own. So I want to end with, what are the resources that are out there? Now, there's an abundance of resources for you, which are very easy to find. So I would strongly suggest, if you have real ambitions, if you really want to accomplish great things in your business, you've got to get a coach or a mentor. And the best way to do that is just find someone that you like and you trust and you resonate with, and give it a shot. And I'll tell you, like, there's coaches I've hired that didn't get me great results over the years, but then there's the coaches I hired that got me amazing results. So just that's okay. The point is that that's where you're gonna get so much growth and such a huge return that it's okay if some of them are mediocre and others are great. The great ones make it all worth it. So just some places you can look, just in the painting industry. Obviously there's what we do at Painting Business Pro, and we have a training program. There's a lot of amazing resources with the Painting Contractors Association, and Nick Slavic does an amazing job and contributes a ton there, and Jason Paris does an amazing job and contributes a ton there, and a ton of other people contribute there, so that's a great resource. Then there's Brandon Lewis, who's got his Academy for Painting Professionals, but there's a ton of resources out there. And the thing that's important is just that you're investing in yourself and you are getting good at the skills you need to get at. So anyways, I wish you the very best. If there's anything I can do to help you with starting or building your business, just drop a comment below. And I wish the very best for you, and that you build a great company that truly serves your customers and truly serves the people that you employ and truly provides an amazing life to you and your loved ones. So that's what we're here to do. Anything we can do to help you do that, just let us know.